What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So I just listened to former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith One-Time Thurman. Keith One-Time Thurman has a fight coming up next Saturday against the towering Inferno Sebastian Fundora, as Keith Thurman is attempting to become a two-division world champion. With that said, Keith Thurman was asked about a showdown possibly coming up May 30th, more than likely. Location is still being discussed between first ballot Hall of Famer, undefeated three-division world champion, former undisputed lightweight, reigning WBO welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, and Devin the Dream Haney. Devin the Dream Haney is 33 wins, no loss, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. As Devin Haney is set to face off against two-division world champion and reigning WBA welterweight world champion, star boxer Rolando "Rolly" Romero. 17 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 13 wins by way of knockout. Now, Rolly Romero has never been viewed as a skilled boxer. He's just strong with power, period. So everybody agrees that Rolly is a big puncher, a strong fighter. But he's very, very unorthodox, very, very unskilled, and but suddenly, since Rolly is fighting Devin Haney, people have newfound faith in Rolly Romero. You have now Keyshawn Davis saying it's a 50-50 fight. You have Keith Thurman now coming out, and Keith Thurman is saying it's a dangerous fight for Devin Haney, interesting fight, going to be a great fight, and Rolly Romero is going to put up a better fight than former WBO welterweight world champion, knockout artist Brian Norman Jr., who had knockout of the year, who had highlight reel knockouts outside of the Jin Sasaki knockout, and is viewed as a power puncher who's big and strong. And Keith Thurman is saying that Brian Norman packed it in. There is always an asterisk by everything Devin Haney does. So it's not because Devin Haney was better, stronger, more accurate, more skilled than Brian Norman expected him to be. It's Brian Norman packed it in and mailed it in, as Keith Thurman said, after he got knocked down. He called it quits. Does anybody ever think that maybe he called it quits because what Devin Haney was able to disarm him with? And now everybody has this newfound faith in Rolly Romero to get the job done. We saw Rolly Romero against Ishmael Barroso, Jackson Marinez, Isaac Pitbull Cruz. But because Rolly had a resurgence and shocked the world, dropping Ryan Garcia and beating Ryan Garcia, all else is forgotten. And because he's going up against Devin Haney, who is unfairly labeled, chinny, and a non-puncher, although he dropped Regis Prograis, who was the puncher, and he didn't get dropped. Although he dropped Brian Norman, who was the puncher, and he didn't get dropped. Although he dominated every second of every minute of every round against Jorge Linares outside of that 10 seconds in the 10th round against Jorge Linares where he got clipped. He dominated that fight in the pocket against Jorge Linares. That gets overlooked because Jorge Linares was a smaller guy. Although he dominated the first 7 rounds against Vasyl Lomachenko, only thing people realize and identify with is the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th round. They completely dismissed the way he dominated the 12th round and the other rounds in between that. You look at the Ryan Garcia fight. Yeah, he got dropped 3 times and it was dramatic, the knockdowns. But people completely dismiss the fact that he outboxed Ryan Garcia the entire rest of the fight outside of the first round when he got clipped in the first round. That gets overlooked. I wonder why. They only focus on the dramatics when it comes to Devin Haney. Only thing they talk about in the Linares fight is him getting clipped. Not the beautiful performance in the pocket, making Linares miss in the phone booth and countering him. They never focus on that. The only thing they focus on is the negative. When it's everybody else, though, they focus on the positive. If I say, man, Tank was getting outboxed by Hector Garcia until he knocked him out. Yeah, but he knocked him out. Ryan was struggling with Oscar Duarte until he knocked him out. But he knocked him out, though. That's the only thing they'll focus on. But Devin Haney, it's the opposite. And so now, everybody has newfound faith in Rolly Romero. But here's the kicker. Devin Haney goes in there and dominates Rolly Romero because everybody knows in their brain, if they had to pick and choose, they would all say 90% chance that Devin Haney wins the fight. But because it's Devin Haney, and people don't like Devin Haney, right? Now Rolly has a chance. And it's going to be a tough fight. And Rolly going to put up a better fight than Brian Norman. What's the difference between Rolly and Brian Norman? What's the difference? Brian Norman is more skilled than Rolly Romero. He's more skilled than Rolly Romero. Just as much power and just as strong. So, what makes Rolly going to have a better performance and outing and showing against Devin Haney? Not saying he can't. Very well could. All depends on Devin Haney's choice of style of fighting. Right? So he very well could put up a better performance. I'm not saying he's not. But I just want to know where the newfound faith in Rolly comes from. Where has it coming from? Where has it come from? And more importantly, if Devin Haney dominates this fight, because people have this newfound faith in Rolly Romero, will they give Devin Haney the credit and say that was a beautiful performance if Devin Haney dominates the fight the same way he did Brian Norman? Or are they going to take away from Rolly Romero like they take away from Brian Norman? We already know the answer to that. I wasn't asking for you to tell me what you actually thought, because we already know what they're going to say and what's going to be the narrative. That Rolly Romero is not skilled, right? They said Devin Haney was going to run. Devin Haney is scared. He got PTSD. Then Devin Haney stands in a pocket in front of Brian Norman, and suddenly it's just because Brian Norman is not that good. But we already know what it is, right? And that's all I got for y'all, man. Can't wait till this fight happens. Drop a comment in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.